Hi there, it's me again. This video is concerning anybody that would like to play a 12-bar blues. And I understand that there are many videos instructing guitarists how to play 12-bar blues, but I think this one is special because it's got a slightly unique take on it. So if you're bored of then this video is for you. I would rate the skill level kind of easy, but it takes some skill to kind of master it first. But once you've got it, it's just applying it over and over again. So it's maybe borderline intermediate. But you should be able to get it pretty easily. I don't know. Well, I'm going to use a method to play the 12-bar blues called what I like to call the double slap, and it's called that because you slap on the chord with this hand, which involves you strumming the open strings first, then slapping the shape of the chord on, and then the second slap comes with this hand. So the whole effect, slap, slap, slap. You see, like that. So there's many advantages of this. Well, the first advantage is it's entertaining to play with this hand, because if you're playing as demonstrated, you're just doing the same thing over and over again, and it does get boring. And the thing is, if it's not a difficult piece to play and it gets boring, you often lose your place, which and if you were to do that on stage or at a gig or whatever and you lost your place, the rest of the band would just be mortified, quite rightly so, because it sounds horrible. So that's a definite advantage, is kind of spicing up a bit. You've got to concentrate a little bit more on what you're actually doing. And the other advantage is it's got that percussion with this hand. It's got the constant slap after every time you play the chord, A1 and as well. So kind of almost syncopated, if you like, syncopated slaps. But the percussion really does help, especially if it's just you, a vocalist and the bass player. Okay, so we're going to do it to begin with in the key of E, but I would like just to stress now that it is very transposable. A lot of people would say, oh, you can only do the open strum thing if you're playing open chords, but not true. If your bar is good enough, then if your bar is good enough, then it can be done anywhere. I'd like to address quickly now what I'm actually doing with this hand, because I understand it might look a bit complex, but it's really not. It's not flamenco in any way. It's just quite easy once it's mastered. It basically consists of a downstroke when the chord is off, but then like half a downstroke with the chord on, so like that's the same stroke then. And what I'm doing there is an upstroke with the thumb and slapping with this part of the hand here on the strings. Don't slap the wood, because although slapping the wood is nice, sometimes you want a really percussive sound, and that lighter tapping is much more effective. So it's just half and half. So it's almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, if you see what I mean. It's important to get the proper up strum within that bit of the thumb there as well, because that really does sound the chord. Because if that was the only kind of sounding of the chord you had, your melody or whatever might become slightly muddled over it, because it is a mix of foreign notes, if you see what I'm trying to say. But the upstroke also does leave your palm in perfect position to slap just along a bit from the fretboard, right directly over the sound hole. You see? And so that's basically going to be the pattern. So if you're taking an E chord, right, it's then of course for your A chord it's exactly the same technique with this hand, except it's an A, which is well, it's like a line chord actually. If I played it anywhere else I would use just the one finger, but because it's an open, you want to make that E sound quite nice, so I generally in open position I use the second, the third and the fourth finger. Of course many people like to use the 1 and 2 and 3, but I find that quite constricting, especially when changing from an E. Guitar is all about the minimum movement principle. You want to move your hands as little as possible, so you can move faster. There's a lot I can go on, if you understand. Anyway, with the A chord it's exactly the same. You notice notice I'm kind of using the 6th string here with the thumb. I mean, you don't have to do that if you're strumming as confident enough to just miss that out. I mean, I suppose if you didn't, it wouldn't sound terrible, but it does sound muddy, if you like. Muddy, yeah, muddy. But you don't want to get the F sharp in your eye, so just be careful of that. Then I'm moving up to the B. Now this is where it becomes slightly more difficult. You can continue to use the if you like, but I mean, I find it's nicer if you were to exercise your thumb and your 3 fingers. Like that. And then slap with you know, your nail bed. I find it to be easier for me personally, but I mean, if you're not accomplished with the thumb and your 3 fingers, then I wouldn't recommend it. But if you are, it's basically on pulling the strings, kind of on the first pluck of all the strings, you're doing that, and then you know, it's like last time, it's split half and half. It's just one plucking motion, but half of it is half of it's the line, half of it's the proper chords, and then it's just pluck again, slap, pluck again, slap, like that. And then you go back to the E chord and then back to the E chord, and it really does make for some nice 12-bar blues playing. So now I'm going to demonstrate what it would sound like if in the whole phrase, and then I hope you like it. And that's basically what it sounds like. And compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, it does sound much more accomplished as well. I mean, if you were to listen to a guitarist playing what I played, and then a guitarist playing what I played, you know, secondly, you would know that the one playing before was more skilled and more accomplished. You wouldn't know, it's not a measure of skill, but it sounds nicer, it sounds more professional, I personally think. Well, I hope that video has been instructive to you for advancing your 12-bar blues playing from the norm. And if you've got any responses or any questions, leave a comment or feel free to inbox me, because you know, I'm always interested in how I can improve as an instructor, and how you utilise what I give you in my videos. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you on the next tape.